Hello, everyone. Don't mind the background noise. I have children here and I'm living for real. Y'all know who it is. I'm not going to bore you with the introduction tonight. For me, it is Monday night at 6:59 p.m. and it has definitely been everything that a Monday is. I wanted to share something that I wasn't going to share. Just because I just wasn't, but God instructed me, so here I go. I first briefly want to talk about military children, and I'm gonna bring it back around to the topic, I promise. Military children are very strange, and we have almost like our own little club, just like law enforcement kids. There are things that people whose parents were in uniform for a long time, they understand that other people do not understand. Specifically for me, my birth father served 11 years in the United States Marine Corps. Not only did he serve in the Marine Corps, he was a drill sergeant. And he was responsible for taking down enemy planes during either the Gulf War or Desert Storm, which he was in both. So military children they're normally pretty intelligent. Okay, that's number one. Number two, they're normally pretty observant. And number three, they understand things about the country that other children will probably never understand. The way they look at the world is very different. Most of the time they're raised in a very strict environment and their parents bring their job home. So I have an understanding of the world and of the United States of America and of many facets of life that I got from being a subordinate. I want to say that to say that the best book that you'll ever read is The Art of War. It is a very straightforward, poignant languaged book that will teach you how to deal with life. See, that's the difference between other children and military children, is that we understand that life is actually war. It's actually war out here, people. You are fighting to be understood every day. You're fighting for your life every day. You're fighting for your neighborhood if you like the motherfuckers every day. You are fighting for your kids every day. You are fighting for everything every day. And people do not understand that. But I do. We've had a lot of conversations about bullies and haters and all this, but I'm going to teach you how to survive life. Read The Art of War. It will tell you exactly how to defeat anything you don't like. In fact, I'm going to give you a little pointer that's in there, and it tells you to know the terrain. Okay? The terrain can be the water, the ground, the air. It could be anywhere. But if you know that terrain, then you know the type of people that travel that terrain. You can guesstimate when they're going to do things because you know the people that are going to travel that terrain. And then it makes it so you can pretty much assume what they're going to do next, because there's only so many options for the terrain that they chose. Be that as it may, I want to introduce you to something that may not be. I think it's Mao Zedong is the one who wrote it. May not be in the book, but I just want to let you know two things. If you are dealing with anything you don't like, anything you don't respect, anything that you abhor, anything you wish would just gravitate to the nebulas and explode, the first thing you got to know is that the devil can only delay, not destroy, unless you let him. So the first thing you got to know is you've got to use all of that angst and moxie, pain, and make it your promise, make it your fuel. Because I'm pretty sure that when my birth father was out there aiming a bazooka at a plane, it takes a different kind of person to be able to do that. But not really. He's not that much different from you or me or anyone else. Because Homo sapien is a nice, pretty little word for animal. He set his mind that they were the enemy and they had to be destroyed. Not that they should. You see, because when you're in a war and you don't destroy your opponent, it's going to weigh more on you that you couldn't do that. Or it may not weigh at all because you might be dead. And we just said that we're fighting for our lives every day, right? So why not use their energy, transmute it, and translate it to something that you can understand, and then digest it and make it the fuel that drives your position. And don't front about it. Don't talk about it and not be about it. Oh, don't you dare do that. That's a caveat. Because the real enemy knows when you're lying. Unless you're a prize-winning actress. Oh, they know. Because, honey, you're not crazy. The people that don't like you, they've been watching you, boo. They've been studying you. They're obsessed with you. They're obsessed with you because they want to destroy you. So they're going to know if you're bluffing. That's why I don't bluff. So, the second thing that you got to know is that many times in this country and around the world, if you don't respond, you're seen as weak. Not responding is the greatest defense. Because if someone walks in a room and one person is screaming and hollering and making all this wonderful noise, and you don't move an inch, who do you think they're going to be looking at? The best thing that you can develop in this universe that we live in is something called self-control. See, it shouldn't be how well you can control someone else. But the real flex is how well can you control yourself under pressure? Because I'm over here reading Making Movies by Sidney Lumet. And I read Story by Robert McKee, which is a 400+ page book, twice. And one thing he said was, character is determined by how you act when you're under pressure. And I'm chilling.